because Obama has been in the news. Obama on Thursday, he was at, what was it, Hamilton College.
Yep.
And he was there for a special event, a night with President Barack Obama. And he was discussing Trump's new economic policies. I got the video queued up.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said the law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me, or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for?
And that was Obama basically saying, if he did what Trump did, we ain't got to even go further past that because we already know.
Exactly.
What's known doesn't need to be said.
Exactly.
So yeah, Obama at Hamilton College was just basically telling people who were listening to stay vigilant throughout Trump's policies and things like that, because Trump is these tariffs.
I just want to know. I just want to ask those people who said they wanted change, so they voted for him because they was getting hit in the pockets. They didn't feel like their lives would change. I want to ask them how their lives is now.
Oh, their lives are about to get jacked up.
I mean, because the thing that is mind-boggling in all of this, right? He made a campaign promise saying that he gonna lower your grocery bills. Now he's saying, hey, toe the line, people. We gonna go through some growing pains, y'all. Just toe the line, and better days is coming. Like, you went from an administration that was literally tackling the problem that he created.
Yeah.
Now he's undoing the progress that was coming, and it's coming to be worse because now you're sitting here, they're doing so much that they want people to be distracted. And what people got to understand is you cannot succumb to temptation thinking if you toe the line, your life is going to get better. It's not, especially if you're black or brown. And what people need to understand is of him undoing the Department of Education. Remember, it was nothing but like 60 years ago when states had rights. Black people couldn't go to school. Black people couldn't get the essential things that a white student can get in their district. As a matter of fact, black people couldn't even go into certain colleges because state rights said it was illegal for black people to know how to read and write. So when people is sitting here thinking that these changes, and especially some black people, because I've heard a lady here locally saying, well, I would like to take my tax dollars and do what I want to do. So now you're telling me you want to pay for school from Head Start all the way to college. And then we all know in some degrees that you get in college doesn't formulate into a better life because they're watering it down. So now, people, it doesn't matter whether you're independent, Republican, Democrat. If you're not understanding what's going on, they're doing so much to keep us divided. Outside of keeping us divided, they're stripping the Constitution down right in front of our faces.
Damn. Yeah, so it's basically on us to stay vigilant throughout these rough times because it's about to get rough, boy.
No, it ain't about to. It is.
No, it's about to get worse.
I'm just saying because this is when white folks pay attention, when they can't go on them vacations, when they can't go on your vacations, when you can't do those extra things during the summer and holidays, that's when y'all notice. But see, what you're not understanding is everybody will listen to all the BS because they tap in to your inner evil, and you facilitate that to now. A lot of these red districts it's hitting them. Them federal jobs, a lot of them is in red districts.
I had a conversation with it was a little white lady. She was sweet as all know, and she did vote for Trump, her family, and she feels like she has been betrayed. And then let me tell you what she said. She said he said he was gonna do this, and he did this, and he hasn't did this, and he's not gonna do this, and I should have never done that. So the whole family was agreeing with like, yeah, we should have did it. So it's a lot of people that's actually seeing into stuff they didn't see before and saw how he said he was going to do one thing and didn't do it and switched up. See, we already knew.
Yeah, I mean, blacks.
We already prepared ourselves for it. People that were voting for him and had all their hopes and everything he was saying is now actually seeing that he did not tell the truth.
It's over.
About a lot of
But
things.
see, one thing you can't say in this election.
He told the truth. They turned a blind eye.
They turned a blind eye. He told them exactly what it was.
But they were
They
like,
didn't think it was going to affect.
exactly
No, it's not
because of
even
their
that. They were
whiteness,
like-
they didn't feel like it was going to touch them.
and then they didn't think it was going to affect them.
And it is. All those farmers who voted for Trump,
Right.
y'all, they on the verge of losing their damn farms because when he shut down the USDA, a lot of them farmers that grow them grain and stuff, they had government contracts. I just said, what was the act I just said a couple weeks ago? The
Wasn't it the Farmer Act or something?
something of the nature. I was just saying that people got to understand when they stop these government, and see, this is where they threw out dog meat out there for them to bite on, to get, and all it was a distraction. They say words like woke and stuff like that. That's racial right there. You feel what I'm saying? That's but when we use the word woke, it was just something different. They took it exactly. They took it and made it racial because black folks. And what people not understanding is now all these mass deportation they don't have. Who's going to fill these jobs?
They coming back.
No, they not.
Wait a
Look,
minute,
no.
I done seen a few things going on where they done been over there and came back a week later.
No, in Florida, they're trying to pass a bill to basically all these child protective rights that they had, working rights they have for children. They're trying to take away that. And if the child labor laws, and if they get their way, 16-year-olds have to work at night, school nights, working 40-hour jobs. So you know who that's going to affect? Poor people, black or white. If you're poor and they're sitting here attacking the middle class, they want this a two-class system. Either you work or you rich. So what people's not understanding, white folks, because this is on y'all heads. Y'all overwhelmingly vote this man in and not knowing fascism is right here in our faces.
And cheated them in.
They're sitting here power grabbing, just like here in the Supreme Court. The Democrat, what's her name? She was leading Griffin, the Republican. The appellate court, which is majority Republicans, party line 2-1, gave the doors for Griffin to be able to upend the people's will, power grabbing. So now, you remember where last year and even now you hear Trump saying that the election was rigged when we're looking right here in our own state that they're sitting here trying to upend. Because if you get it a majority Republicans on the Supreme Court, that means all bills it's not going to favor the people.
He talking about it was rigged. He rigged it.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody cry
President
wolf, they
Bush
usually the
and
ones that are
Trump.
culprits. So that's for the Supreme Court.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
North
Republican
Carolina
Griffin,
Supreme
he
Court.
was losing by 743 votes.
Yeah.
He's trying to get 65,000 votes tossed out. And a lot of those voters are actually living. They done came out and spoke, and they voted, and they're legally voted. And a lot of them is Republican voters as well. So again, the thing about it is people who voted for this thinking that it wasn't going to touch them.
And now it's touching them, and they like,
Oh yeah.
but we like,
How you got billionaires running the country?
you know, we do.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. How do you think a billionaire can relate to you? They can't.
can.
They can't.
So they give you hope you could try to get to their status one day and be just like them.
And all they gonna do, you want to join the cool kids. You gonna get a cool kids club, and all they doing is playing your face. Because as all these mass deportations is out, all these jobs need to be filled from the fields to just everyday jobs. So that means kids ain't even, and then on top of that, you got Dr. Oz in control of Medicaid and Medicare. So that means you seniors, you poor people, especially white Americans in these poor states like Kentucky, West Virginia, and certain places like Indiana, that you need these services and you stay out in rural areas. That affects y'all.
Yes, it does.
That affects y'all. Just like y'all was talking about DEI, that affects y'all. But since Fox and Newsmax put a color on it, and using that, y'all went for it and y'all played yourselves.
Yes, they did.